And there is Dr. Miller, our chairman, and David Phillips, our vice chair, are both absent. Our first order of business will be to elect a chairman pro tem. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to elect somebody.
I move to elect Barry Jones as chairman pro tem.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Jones, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight for the March 24th meeting of the school board. The first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. So let's stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Y'all need some more room?
Well, we got plenty over here. Dr. Hale, Student Advisory Group.
Good evening, Chairman Pro Tem and members of the board. Tonight we did want to share a brief student advisory update based on previous conversation this year and where we are in this process. We'll talk about the purpose and goals of our student advisory group, membership selection, meeting structure, and then roles, responsibilities, and next steps. So really we see the benefit of student advisory group, and thank you to our board for bringing this to our attention, is to provide that student perspective so that we get their feedback and also really enhance communication between our students and us as well as you all. We also really want to hear what students have to say as far as concerns, but even more importantly, what are potential solutions that are workable. And of course, we are always looking to develop student leadership and prepare them to be engaged as citizens. Our membership selection, we see the benefit of starting small to start with, to work with this group. We are looking at 8 students, so it'd be 2 representatives from every school, all of our 4 high schools, and initially this would include juniors and seniors. Our goal, though, is to have well-roundedness and diversity with our students as far as their background, as far as different activities they are involved in, and also that we're not only just getting the academic component, but all of the other pieces and extracurriculars as well that students may be involved in. One question that did come up was about tech center representation, our students from the technical center, but also those students would be represented potentially through their home school through this. The application process, there is a short student application that has already been shared with the schools. It includes short responses and 3 recommendations, 2 from a teacher and 1 from an administrator. And these are actually due April 4th, so it'll be coming up very, very quickly since that is actually next week. For the meeting, we see that it's important to meet with them quarterly, and obviously Dr. Stanley and I would be involved in that process, but we also want to have the students take some leadership. We also see the need for 2 school board members. We think that's important to have 2 school board members dedicated to this, so that way they can help with the agenda, setting the topics in advance, but then allow flexibility because there can be dialogue that comes up with students. And then we would also make sure that we assign a note taker really to have that follow through with action items and to be able to give updates. For our roles and responsibility, again, the two school boards, whoever that may be, you would be able to share during the meeting updates with our monthly meetings as appropriate. Again, help with agendas and setting those times for these meetings. Again, we're gonna listen and really try to provide feedback, integrate them as appropriate if we are able to include those with decision making. We will also rely on our senior staff to attend meetings as appropriate. And so that if there is specific expertise they can add to this, they'd be able to do so. And then student members, we want them to engage in discussions, bring concerns and potential solutions, and serve as liaisons to their peers in schools. So again, next steps for us, we have applications are due April 4th, and we plan to notify students by April 11th. It will include a current junior and a current senior. We do think it's important to get that senior feedback before they graduate. And then the school board representatives, again, we would need 2 representatives needed, and that would help us set the first meeting date. Our goal is to meet 1 time before the end of the school year because it is towards the end, and then we'd be able to set a process for next year for that meeting structure. We are hoping to possibly use the technical center because that is one way that students can get transportation here, working with Mr. Hardy and his staff as well to determine dates and times. So again, we'll review and respond to student recommendations, acknowledge student contributions through letters of recommendation and public recognition if they are accepted for this. So we're excited to see the applications that come forth. And I do want to say a big thank you to Dr. Wilkerson. She could not be here this evening, but she has done quite a bit of work on this for developing guidelines and the application process. Okay. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
After this thing gets going, how frequently would the meetings be?
We plan quarterly.
Quarterly.
We think that students are busy. You know, I mean, they are very busy. Everybody else is busy. So we're thinking quarterly would work. And then, of course, they would be welcome to attend school board meetings.
Okay.
So then we would do another application process next year. We hope to keep the junior that's selected this year. They'll be a senior, and then do a selection process for juniors.
So if you're interested on serving on this committee, on this advisory group, you can let me know or let Dr. Miller know, and maybe by next month, we can have somebody in place and ready to serve on that committee.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
So the students in the schools will know who these 2 individuals are, and they know they can go to them to.
Correct, and that's a big piece of it, is so that there is that liaison between the school and and us. We know principals do talk to students regularly. We know this. They have student leadership, but just another component of that.
I guess that was my question. We still have SCAs at all the schools, so that
We do.
it'd be kind of cool if they have a role in that SCA board. Like if there's a kickback to where they're actually really have an opportunity to.
Correct, and that's what I meant
Get
with the
that
well-roundedness
invitation,
of, if they have that student leadership background, they'll be well-suited for this.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're looking
I mean,
for,
it
is some
doesn't
well-roundedness.
close it off, but I hope that the SCAs at the home schools will incorporate these representatives into their meetings.
Very much so, and we've also had some schools are restarting, some of those groups, so I think it's perfect timing.
Absolutely.
And then we'll see how it goes from there.
So who selects the 2?
So that will be handled through the secondary office.
The principals.
The principals are the
Principals will
first
make
part,
recommendations, and Dr. Wilkerson.
and then they'll go to Dr. Wilkerson after that, correct?
So the principal will just recommend a junior and a senior. They won't give them a pool and say, is that the way I understand it?
So they have a full application where they have to, so their names will be redacted from that, and then they have an application process that'll have a recommendation from 2 teachers and an administrator, probably the head principal, and then from there, each school will get 2. So it really does depend, every school is guaranteed to have the 2 for that, but the names will be taken off just to remove that element.
So what you're saying is there could technically be 20 applicants
Oh,
for
sure.
8 spots. Yeah, so it wouldn't be limited just 2 schools, or it's not the principals, I guess that
So,
way.
but my question
Yes.
is who's going to pick the ones from, say, Brookville High School? Is going to be the principal or the going to be Ms.
Dr. Wilkerson will handle that selection. So the principals will send the applications to Dr. Wilkerson, and then from there, she will determine the finalist.
Now, what happens if no students come out here? Should it still be represented?
So if for some reason and because it is a quick turnaround, we've thought about this. If we have a school we don't have the number of applicants we need, then I would follow up with the principal, to say, hey, there may need to be some nudging, if necessary. I hope not, but I do know they're busy. So we want to be able to fill those.
Yeah, but I'm talking about representing the tech center.
Oh, the technical center. Mr. Hardy and I plan, if we notice there isn't that representation, him and I will discuss if we need to change the format.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because we don't, what I mean is we don't want to leave anyone,
Yeah,
any
that's right.
aspect out. Correct. Absolutely. Great. Okay, thank you.
Express our appreciation to Dr. Wilkerson for putting this together.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right, matters from the floor. Mr. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. Zanzik,
That's good. That's really good.
floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you. Want to comment on the FY26 budget and a couple other items here. First, though, for a thanks to Ms. Hunley. She got me a very workable format Excel of the budget, and that was super helpful. Man, it makes it so much easier. So I just wanted to thank Ms. Hunley, and she's always really quick and responsive, so she's really good. Start off here, slide 2, just take a peek at SOL scores. I did this last year too. Didn't have any visuals though, so this might be more helpful. Comparing to the entire Commonwealth of Virginia, we are still slightly above average for elementary scores. This is all scores is pretty much all scores that have been recorded for all different subjects. But for middle school and high school, below average. Largest contributors to the low test scores, and the greatest room for opportunity there is definitely in the math and reading. Third slide is a look just at the Lynchburg area counties. Again, our elementary scores are slightly better than average. For middle school, though, we are well below average by 7 points, and high school scores are right around the average. Math and reading, again, being largest room for improvement there. So we definitely remain below average compared to the state, but only slightly below average when compared to our neighboring counties. And the year-over-year changes didn't really show much sign of improvement there. Some really good news that I was excited to see was that our teacher pay scales got a big bump last year, or for this year. This is great. This is comparing to our neighbors now, the counties in the area, and so we got a substantial bump to both entry-level pay and for our more veteran teachers on the high end. However, Amherst also gave us a substantial increase on their pay scale, so we got some competition still there. The bottom section shows a comparison of the percent our neighbors are either above or below our pay scales. So we are just around average at the entry-level teacher pay, but once you leave the entry-level pay scale, we start losing ground and paying less when compared to others. So on average, our neighbors are paying around 11% more than Campbell for their experienced teachers. So basically everyone else is paying their veteran teachers, experienced teachers more than us. An FY26 budget, I think, could have done more to correct this. So getting a 5-year view of our budget to kind of see how we got where we are. The clear outline in expenditures, I think the key thing here is for looking at FY22 to FY26 there on the right side is kind of seeing where some of our biggest contributors have been over these last 5 years. And health is obviously the largest outlier there at 60%, going from 1.7 million to 2.7 million. Here you could also see, though, going from the FY25 budget to this proposed FY26 budget, all expenditures related to instruction add only 2% year over year, while health, counselors, library, and office of the principal are getting more than instruction. Slide 6 just highlights just the compensation lines, so I just pulled out those lines that were tagged with compensation. Over the last 5 years, they're again looking at FY22 to FY26. Classified staff, administrative staff have received a 28% increase in compensation, while teachers have only received a 21% increase. There was a lot of catch-up that we needed. Yeah, I got only a couple more lines here. We know that there's a lot of catch-up that was needed for bus drivers this year, so that trend does continue. When you compare what we spent in FY24 to what is being proposed in this budget, administrative staff compensation is increasing by 21% compared to teacher pay, which is 10% less than that. So again, it's just another big jump of administrative staff salaries over teacher pay. And I know that doesn't seem to be in line with the priorities of some members on the board. So I just thought that this type of analysis might be useful for you all. But as always, I thank you for giving us the time to comment and take a look at the budget. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Next order of business is approval of the March 10th meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Maddox, seconded by Ms. Tanner, that we approve the March 10th meeting minutes. Are there any questions? If none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Y'all are pretty weak. Y'all better do better than that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye, good deal. All right. Adopting the 25-26 budget. Dr. Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple weeks ago, we shared with you our budget proposal, and nothing has changed from that. I want to again thank Michelle and her staff for all the hard work they put into it. You know, in this budget, we tried to hit the main three items that were expressed to us by you as board members. The first being a 3% raise for all staff. The second thing was, when it comes to personnel changes, we added 2.5 gifted positions to enhance our gifted program at the elementary level. We've got on this list here, we've got one additional teacher we need at Yellow Branch. But we've also got 2 positions that that are now vacant, so that's kind of a wash. And then the salary scale adjustments for transportation to help make our bus driver pay a little more competitive. So really, those are the big 3 items that we wanted to get out of our budget. And to do so, we had to do some reductions, you know, to get there. And part of those reductions include an average of 1%, you know, of everybody's budget pretty much across the board. We trimmed it 1%. We had a very nice savings when it came to our health insurance when we had our switch to VACOR. We had no change in VRS employer contribution rate, so that was great. And something that we did not do in this budget is budget for health insurance increase, which we have, you know, seen every year for the past several years. So, you know, if we get additional money from the state, obviously that's where some of that money is going to go to help offset that. Today, we heard that the governor, you know, had to act on the budget, and he sent back several amendments and line item vetoes. So, you know, there'll be some changes. They have to reconvene the General Assembly April 2nd, and so hopefully, you know, at some point around spring break, we'll have a finalized budget. And we'll come back to you with an amendment to kind of see what gains or subtractions we take from it. So if you have any questions about, you know, what we've proposed, we're certainly here to answer those questions. If not, I would ask that you adopt this budget tonight.
So
Go ahead, Gary.
does the state have a time limit on when they have to, 'cause wasn't last year we didn't approve it till June?
It was late.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Wasn't it like June?
Is
Yeah.
it- What's the latest they can get their numbers?
I would say June 30. If it's not approved by then last year's budget,
Your money runs
stands.
out. We have no money.
It reverts to the budget approved last year.
And so something else, if you'll remember, what we did something they have in their proposed budget from the General Assembly is a $1,000 bonus for this year. So the longer they wait, the muddier that gets. But we set aside that money already, so we're good. If they do it even at the last minute, we'll pay the bonus.
That was 1,000 full, 500 part-time?
Yes, sir.
And when will that be?
It has to be paid by June 1st
When will we give it to our?
in the May 31st pay.
So there's no changes from 2 weeks ago to today?
Correct.
Everything on the paper is the same?
Correct.
Anybody have any more questions? Entertain a motion to pass the budget presented to us.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Maddox, seconded by Ms. Tanner, that we approve the proposed 25-26 budget. Are there any more questions? If none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Dr. Stanley, you got any more stuff to report?
I've got just a few more things for you, and then we can wrap up. So approximately a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we got a call from Nina Razai. She is in economic development for Campbell County, and she informed us that Congressman McGuire would be in town, I think last Monday, and asked if they could stop by. They were going to be down 29 looking at Seneca Park and talking about workforce development. And so they asked if they could stop by here, which they did. And Mr. Hardy, as always, did a great job I'm talking to Congressman McGuire. He seems like a very nice man. It was nice to meet him. He went on a tour of the facility and got to talk to a lot of kids, a lot of teachers, and I think enjoyed his time here. So anyway, that was kind of last moment, and I appreciate you rolling out the red carpet for him. And then just so you know, last Friday, we had kind of an all-day meeting at Rustburg Middle School with DES. DES is the company that we're partnering with to put in the STEM plus M curriculum at our middle schools. And we also had 2 members from, I guess, the Navy who are responsible for the funding part of that. And we had a great day. Dr. Hill had a nice presentation. DES had a great presentation. And so anyway, I feel like we're forming some pretty strong relationships there. They even asked if we could be creative with any other ideas, what would they be? So we got to be creative and see what we can do. But anyway, they were very nice and we appreciated their visit. And I don't want to get into your territory there when it comes to comments from board members, but I did get to watch Mr. Jones and Mr. Phillips throw out the first pitch at Rustburg High School Friday night. Both of them got to the plate, did a great job.
Did they need oxygen after?
And then just so you, just a reminder that Wednesday we've got VSBA Southern Regional Spring Forum at Rustburg Middle School, and people will start to arrive there between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. About 5:45 we'll start the program, and then hopefully start serving food around 6 o'clock. We've got a lot of people who are going to be involved with that, and we're really looking for a great night. We've got 10 different presentations going on from other divisions. All of them, if you'll remember, have a CTE flair. And so we're hoping to get some good ideas and see some great things going on around us. And then the last thing I've got is this afternoon we were notified that one of our own Alta Vista teachers, Mr. Darrell Smith, is a finalist for the Presidential Award of Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. And that's quite an accomplishment for Mr. Smith. He's certainly well deserving of that, and we wish him luck moving forward.
Did you tell me Friday night about a CTE commercial?
So Tuesday, Mr. John, I had told him at the ball game that we're doing a commercial, kind of a promotional, video for the STEM plus M programs. And it's going to be professionally done, so we're obviously going to let Dr. Hill do the talking. And then you say the voiceover, is that kind of a surprise? Will be Mike Rowe from, it's called Dirty Jobs, right? Yeah.
He won't be there.
No.
Very cool.
He will be involved in the film.
Yeah, so we're very proud of what's going on in our middle schools. You know, a lot of times our middle schools kind of get lost in the shuffle, but this is a great opportunity to highlight what's going on there. And we're excited about it.
Good,
Yep.
good. Thank you very much. Ms. Parker, you want to start?
Sure. Really, since it's only been a couple weeks, I appreciate Dr. Hale and Dr. Wilkerson working on the Student Advisory Council. Super excited about that. And thank you for everything you guys are doing there. And then today's tour, I know I'll just chime in that we toured the Brookville renovation. And it was very impressive. I'm always, on walking on job sites, they always do such a good job of keeping it clean and safe. So that's probably, my number one compliment. Not that it's not an awesome job, but so often, even in businesses and with the kids and everything, I just, their staff's just done such a great job, I can get it out right, that keeping it clean and safe during the renovations, and I appreciate that. And that's it.
Yeah, so I'm with Ann. It's only been a couple weeks. I don't have a whole lot of updates, but I'm glad that we got to show off the Brookville, what's there and what's still to come. I think we still have a lot of work, but I'll echo with Ann. It's just they've kept it such a great and safe for the kids. And, sometimes I'm really surprised that they've been able to continue the way that they have. in some of the areas just because it's so close to student population. If you've ever walked there when it's going on and there's, the traffic flow with the kids and there's construction going on at the same time, that I have done that a few times being up at the school, and they do a great job of keeping it safe and making sure that things are barricaded for our kids. But opening up the sessions, the sections when we can, I think is important. So I'm excited about the cafeteria soon to be unveiled to the kids. Let them be able to enjoy it.
Ms. Fong?
Sure. Thank you guys for the tour. It was fantastic. I will say the cafeteria is my favorite. The light in there is going to be, it's such a stark contrast from the old cafeteria. I'm really excited for them. April 1st, Leesville Road, PTO is raising money for at Chick-fil-A for a fundraiser night on Timberlake Road from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. April 10th, Leesville Road is having a family engagement glow night. They will have math and literacy activities, pizza and snacks, photo booth, glow fun, and a dance party. Come dressed in neon or glow attire. My kids are so excited. They filled out the form themselves, and I had to say, don't turn that in yet. So congratulations to both BMS and BHS Advanced Choir that received superior ratings and received the Blue Ribbon Award at the BCDA Choral Assessments. And I just can't believe it's already the end of March and we only have April and May. That's it. I'm done. That's all you.
I thoroughly enjoyed the tour. It's amazing what they've done over there. I'm like you with the cafeteria. That's those skylights. And John, you want to tell us a little something about your open house? Did that turn out well?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Before we forget it.
Appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Maddox. We did have an open house here for 9th and 10th grade students. We had emailed and texted all the parents and students in Campbell County schools that are in 9th and 10th grade. And, it's spring. There's a lot of busy things. Families are doing a lot of things in the evenings. But it went very well. I would say that we had a little over 150 people come through that evening, which was really nice to see that many parents and that many students that are thinking about their next steps when they're in 9th and 10th grade. A lot of them were 9th graders, impressively enough, that their parents are trying to get them thinking about their future and seeing if a class here is a part of that future with their next steps in preparation for post-secondary life. And gave them a great chance to ask questions, come in the door, and meet teachers, see our labs, see some of the things that are going on. And we had a few of our current students, of course, showing up as well, just because they love the opportunity to get in their classrooms and be around their teachers, and sometimes just show off, some of their projects that they've been working on. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anything else specific?
No, I just wonder how it went.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Well, I think I told Dr. Stanley Friday night on some TV channel I was watching, it was like a promo for Career Tech First College. And it was a guy that just sold CTE stuff, like, all this is available to you. There's an open market need, need people everywhere. And when you get out, you don't have any overhead. They were just selling to the, a huge network, what we're trying to sell right here in Campbell County. And I just can't remember what channel it was on or what, but I think it's going to continue to grow, and we're going to have to be able to accommodate more people somewhere down the road, because you take those CTE positions that we offer and that are available, good money, and we're going to have to prepare those kids for it, along with the help of community college. So. Hi, all I got is remember April 19th is a plant sale at Rustburg Middle School. Again, Friday night, participated in the dedication of the backstops for both the Rustburg softball and Rustburg baseball fields. They were first class, just Just looked like something you would see on a college, campus, really first class. The BH Brookville High School construction today I was there, I think, 2 months ago, and there's huge improvements from 2 months ago. It's really, really coming around, and it's going to be really impressive when they finish. Again, thanks to Dr. Wilkerson and Dr. Hale for putting together that student advisory planning. And Mr. Bennett said at Concord, having an Achievements Awards coming up next week, and we have a perfect in attendance award for the month of March, or an incentive for perfect attendance next week. So good things going on at Concord. And I would just remind everybody here that on Wednesday night at the Spring Forum, wear your name tag, like, if you can find it, wherever it is, wear that. And anything else we need
I'm
to?
out of my car.
Huh?
My car was in,
You said your car was in shambles.
I got it. I went and got it today. Got my name tag. We're good.
Anything else we need to do for that?
I think just be hospitable and
Okay.
help people find where they're going. And
Okay. And I think that's all we got. And unless anybody has anything else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor indicate by standing up. Thank you very much. Can you get me out of this thing with a motion to get me out before the next
Yes.
meeting?
That's it.
Do? Oh, wait, we may not.